So welcome. I'm hiking around Baker Park Reserve today, and I'm just overwhelmed actually. Every acre I explore, every step I take, there's hundreds and hundreds more. Um, if our host Joe Ewing would ever come back to the cities, there's lots more land to explore. But as you look around, everything you see, I've pretty much been through today. It's just, I can't even explore it all. Just look. In every direction is trees and woods and wetlands and more and more and more. Unlike Walsfeld Woods, this one's young. The trees aren't as old, nor are they as big, but scattered throughout are remnants that a farmer has left behind for us. And those remnants, I hope, can be found. And if they can be found, hopefully they'll be giants. Hello Biology Nerd Side. I'm out at Baker Park Reserve today, and first thing I see when I walk in is this lovely sumac. The tallest is almost 30 feet tall, which is the tallest sumac I've ever seen. But more importantly, this one behind me is also the largest I've ever seen, making it a national record at almost 1 foot 11 around and measuring 27 feet tall. You can see that this sumac is more than a sumac. It's a tree. Sumac, if you can recall, are usually small shrubby plants filling in after a cut or a blowdown. They don't usually grow to these sizes, so this is exceptional. Welcome folks to Baker Park Reserve, aka the land of mosquitoes and horseflies. This is the ecosystem that we didn't quite get to last time. You'll notice I'm not talking in a British accent. Well, it got tiresome. But I'm now in the big woods, which used to encompass a very large portion of central Minnesota, made up of sugar maples, basswood, and oak of various types. We'll just look around. Unfortunately, a certain farmer cut all of this down in the last, say 100, 150 years ago. So it's not quite as much fun to walk through, but it's getting there, and it shows what species encompass the big woods. It also opens up the challenge. This is my favorite type of ecosystem to walk through, and I spent hours and hours on end trying to find the sections that the farmers have not cut down. Wait and see if I find anything. Well, I did finally stumble on a relic. Behind me is this very healthy, very large bur oak. Though it's not the biggest I've seen, it's only about 11 feet around, it does provide clues that this woods was originally old growth big woods. Old growth big woods that was, as I said earlier, cut by the farmer. But as I've been hiking around, I've been noticing that this farmer had tendencies. His tendencies were to cut the forest and leave an occasional bur oak or white oak. As you can see, this was definitely the case, because this tree may be as old as 300 or as young as 175, 200. When he cut the woods, this tree was definitely here, and as he cleared it, he also gave this tree a gift, which was sunlight. As we know, trees need sunlight to grow, and this one grew substantially when the canopy was opened. The farmer did not open the canopy for these trees without a price, though. He used them to tie off his barbed wire to, as you can still see. But this oak is now in canopy. Some are his own offspring, some are the offspring of others, but what it does is a strange phenomenon. When the tree is opened up into the canopy, opened up from the canopy, into open farm field, the canopy gets very large. But as the tree is re-encircled by the forest, as new forest goes up around it, a phenomenon called shade killing happens to the tree. Now these new trees are set up to grow fast, grow tall. Not so with the old oak, which has slowed down in its growth and has put its energy towards growing wide in the canopy. But as new tall trees come, they begin to choke out the wide branches of the oak and prune it back to fit inside a canopy. This may kill the tree, or it may just make the tree skinnier. You can see this happening in the branch above me. Now this was a wide branch from the oak, and as these new hornbeams and elms above me began to grow, it began to choke out this oak. Very cool phenomenon, and an interesting effect of clear cutting. Well, I continued and found more remnants of what was. However, this one makes me excited. It's a basswood, ridiculous size. 14 foot 4 around, not as big as the state record, but I'll just even keep going back here because the thing is huge. Just one giant hunk of wood. And I named it Big Green Giant because look at all the sprouts around it. It's a phenomenon that happens with basswood more than most. It just grows other trees out of its roots. There's a serious hollow in this one, in the shape of a heart, and there's also more remnants of the farmer. There's barbed wire. Also behind me is a ridiculous sized red oak, which I'm going to walk over to. I haven't measured it yet. It's not quite as big as the basswood, but beautiful nonetheless. And so you can really get a look. I'm happy. We now arrive at another very interesting occurrence. This pond was likely at one point much larger than it is, and it's begun to fill in. But so lately that has been helped along by the falling of a few trees. Most recently, this is a large ash. 30-ish, 20-ish years ago, another tree fell, which, as you can see, has provided space for new trees to grow. This was once a log, and as it has rotted away, new trees have grown on it. Eventually, these logs will pile up, and these new trees, matter will pile up, and it'll fill in this pond completely, and it'll become fertile soil for the next generation of trees.